Oi, oi, how we doing? Sinner to winner here. We have Bill's story, page 15, the penultimate page. We are on the penultimate page. It's took us a few days to get there, but we're here. We're taking action. Progress, not perfection, right? We are here. We are still going. We are still striving. We are trudging, as they say. We are trudging the road of happy destiny. And here it is. It's my little take on this book and the stories that are in it. Well, not actually, to be precise, not the stories that are in it, but the first 164 pages. The stories are after those pages. But we're doing right now Bill's story, the main story. The Mr. Me Too story. You can listen to this story and I'm sure there'll be some Me Too's in there. That's what this is about. Look for the similarities and not the differences. I heard this at a meeting last night. I was at a meeting last night and I've heard it before, but I heard it loud and clear last night. There's going to be things I say that you might not agree with. There's going to be things that I say that just don't resonate with you. But I guarantee if you listen to this next 10 minutes or whatever that I put on, there'll be some things that you do. Just keep those. You don't have to worry about the stuff you don't agree with. Use the stuff you do. And hey, this is just my experience, strength and hope. I'm not trying to give anyone any advice. I'm not saying this is the way, it's just like, take what works for you. More will be revealed. It's a magic eye picture, this thing. But anyway, without further ado, let's crack on. Page 15. We've just heard about how faith without works is dead. And we're here, we're doing the work. We've got the faith. Let's go. For if an alcoholic failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work and self-sacrifice for others, he could not survive the certain trials and low spots ahead. If he did not work, he would surely drink again. And if he drank, he would surely die. Then faith would be dead indeed. With us, it is just like that. And it is with us, and I believe, it's just my belief, with mankind, woman and man, with human beings, with humans. I believe it's this way. Our superpower is service. And if we're not in service, we're in self. And self is so toxic. And that toxicity comes out in what religion calls sins and what we tend to call character defects and or addiction issues, So service is a superpower. And, isn't it fantastic that through this spiritual awakening, through this journey of faith and looking at this God-shaped hole, we can come to like a new realization of what this is all about. Because what is this all about? Like, why am I stood here in front of this thing called a phone and making a video and talking to, I don't know, I got over 1,000 subscribers apparently, and even more people are watching it, but they're just not subscribing. Subscribe! But it's like, what's it all about? I don't know. But that's part of it, right? That's the curiosity. This is better than any drug. When you really, 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 really realize, and you do a bit of meditating, and you do a bit of writing, you realize like just being alive is unbelievable. Feeling the floor on my feet, feeling my tongue splash and bash up and down in my mouth, all the little things that are going on. This is a psychedelic trip. It really is. Feeling my eyeballs going around my eyelids. You know what I mean? Feeling my hand moving. I remember the first time I took my daughter up to Runyon Canyon. I took her to Runyon Canyon and she was stood on this seat and she felt the wind and she was just like, and she loved it. She loved it because she was in the moment. She was feeling the breeze. She was in the senses. She wasn't numbing out. She wasn't in the past and she wasn't in the future, which meant she wasn't pissing on the present. She was enjoying it. But I digress. Let's carry on. My wife and I abandoned ourselves with enthusiasm to the idea of helping other alcoholics to a solution of their problems. It was fortunate for my old business associates remained skeptical for a year and a half, during which I found little work. So here it is, Bill, not just Bill, but his wife. They abandoned themselves with enthusiasm to the idea of helping other alcoholics. They wanted to help people. And thank God for Bill's wife. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He couldn't have done this without his wife. And, teamwork makes the dream work. Remember that. Teamwork makes the dream work. And men and women, or men and men, and women, or whatever your partner is, there's nothing like that union. There's nothing like that covenant that is very powerful. Very powerful. Family, familia, when you share a life with someone and you trust and you've got each other's backs, that's beautiful, man. That's called intimacy. Wow. Fantastic. Who doesn't want a bit of that? Who doesn't want a slice of that apple pie? I know I do. I know I would. That's amazing. It really is. And she was there, and it won't even, like he said, it takes about a year and a half. And isn't that funny? Because I think on a scientific level, it takes about a year and a half for you to fully come through the addiction of alcohol. If you've been drinking a little bit and you decide to come off alcohol, I think neurologically, for the cravings is around 90 days. But this is just stuff I've heard over the time. I ain't got no science proof to back this up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do your own research. This is just what I've heard in my experience. I'm not making it up. This is just stuff I've heard and taken on and stuff I'm reading. But I believe it's around 90 days neurologically, and so you're not getting those cravings. But for your balance and your hormones and everything, after that, I believe it's a year or a year and a half. And isn't it funny? Bill struggled for a year and a half. Didn't get himself quite right. But she stuck with him. And he was plagued by self-pity and resentment. He says, I was not too well at the time and was plagued by waves of self-pity and resentment. This sometimes nearly drove me back to drink, but I soon found that when all other measures failed, work with another alcoholic would save the day. So working with others, and I can attest to this, I was feeling down just last night. It was a tough day for me. I'm not with my daughter right now. It was Valentine's Day. I was sending her some little nice things and I spoke with her. But it hurts, and I'm single right now, and like I say, I used to be married, and it's one of those days, I'm sure we can all relate, where it's just in your face that you're single. It's in your face that you can't see your loved ones, like if you've got a daughter or something like that. So, and then I got a call from somebody who wanted to go to a meeting, and it just, it lifted me. And I got out of myself and I got into service, like we were talking about earlier. And it just lifted me. It's unbelievable. I highly recommend it. Get out of self and get into service. I hope this is helping someone. I really do, because this is why I'm making these videos. And as I'm making these videos, let me tell you, sometimes in my head I'm going, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I have to remember, I'm doing this to be of service. I'm doing this to help somebody. Somebody left a message on here the other night and said that it really helped them. And that's why I'm here. Crack on, leaving a legacy. My daughter might see this one day. My daughter might hear things about me on the grapevine. Your dad did this, your dad did that. But what I can say, or what she will see, is that your dad also picked himself back up, cracked his whip and said, you know what? Like it says in the Bible, the path of the righteous man, as opposed to the path of the wicked man. The path of the righteous man, when he falls down, he gets back up. He gets back up one more time than he falls down. The wicked man stays down and he just, he does what he does, and he don't want to deal with it, and he don't want to get back up, and he's quite happy. I'm not. I've got back up. I'm trudging this road. Vamos, let's go. Love you, Piper, if you're watching this. I love you so much. La la la. Let's continue. Let's continue. Many times I have gone to my old hospital in despair. On talking to a man there, I would be amazingly lifted up and set on my feet. It is a design for living that works in rough going. He's telling us, I've just said it, but it's a design for living that works in rough going for anybody. When you're having rough going, when you're having difficult times, stay away from the victim mentality, stay away from the blame game, and get out of those resentments. Get out of that self-pity and help others. It's a cure. It's a medicine. We commence to make many fast friends, and a fellowship has grown up among us, of which it is a wonderful thing to be a part of. The joy of living we really have, even under pressure and difficulty. I have seen hundreds of families set their feet in the path that really goes somewhere. Have seen the most impossible domestic situations righted, feuds and bitterness of all sorts wiped out. I have seen men come out of asylums and resume a vital place in the lives of their families and communities. Business and professional men have regained their standing. There is scarcely any form of trouble and misery which has not been overcome among us. Well, I tell you what, unbelievable. We're nearly there. We've got one more page to go. One more page to go. And, you know, these are facts. This is factual. These people really existed. These stories really happened. People, I mean, nowadays we know it's helped millions of people. And what I would say is look up the St. Francis prayer. I feel that's what page 15 means to me today. The St. Francis prayer is amazing. That's what it's making me feel of. You know, it's that thing where when you want, remember, as much as you want to be loved, it's better to give love. As much as you want to be understood, it's better to practice to understand. That's the paradoxical nature of this thing, this life, the way we're built. So, yeah, thanks for listening. We've done page 15. We've had a little over 10 minutes. And I've enjoyed talking to you tonight. We've got one more page to go on Bill's story. If you're listening to this, I love you. Thank you for supporting this channel. There's more to come. Progress, not perfection. I'll be working on my what can I say? My editing skills in the future. I'm gonna be working on my lighting skills. I'll be working on my studio here. It's all going to kick off, and I couldn't do it all without being sober and clean. I really couldn't. I won't be here if I wasn't sober and clean. 6 months, 6 days today. This is day 6, 6 months and 6 days. And I'm a day counter because when I count my days, I stay in the present moment. I realize how important that 24 hours, that one day at a time mentality is. Don't take nothing for granted. Obrigado, Deus. Thank you, God. Godspeed. Let's smash it, people. I love you. Vá com Deus.